Okay, I left off talking about I was left off for January 2009, so this would have been my 13th cycle. Um, I was turned on to baby aspirin and soy isoflavones. Soy to boost ovulation. It is a way to use Clomid, and I suggest if you're going to use soy isoflavones that you research it as much as you can before you put anything in your body that you don't know about. I think that it was a great thing the first month I tried it, but the second month, I'll get to that in a minute. I was told by my doctor to not take any sort of aspirin once I did go, so I dropped the baby aspirin, but I was told it can increase blood flow and fix the uterine lining. Like I said, the soy isoflavones was taken. I think I took 50 milligram of the soy isoflavones on days. I can't even remember. I'd have to go back and look at my chart, because I think the next month I either did it the same or tried because you can do it like 3 to 7 and then 4 to 9 or something like that. You take it the same way as you would do that. But I was soon to find out I did it again in February. Still taking baby aspirin. No result at all. It wasn't doing anything to help my periods. Which means my uterine lining was not getting any thicker. And it was the first real anovulatory cycle that I had. So soy for me, though I think it was great month 1, totally fucked up my body. And I wish now that I probably wouldn't have tried it, but I mean, I think that, and anybody that's been trying as long as I have, going on and off for 2 years now, you do start to become, obsessed with it. It's like, oh my god, I don't understand what's wrong with me. Why can't I do this? Why do I have to stare at, my husband, look on his face every time, my freaking period shows? It sucks. So, you get to a point where, we didn't have insurance yet. We knew we wanted a baby. We were ready to start trying. It wasn't like we were hoping that the government would feed us with money and insurance. We just simply wanted to start a family. We loved each other, and my husband is an amazing person, and he deserves a baby. And it was important for me to document this, especially because there's a lot of women that will be out there doing whatever they can to get pregnant. And my suggestion is wait. Go to the doctor, see what they say, and get on what you can. And don't try to self-diagnose. It's just really probably not a good idea, and I learned from it, and like I said, I believe in the end it was a mistake, and I've met women who've tried soy isoflavones, but, like I said, it worked for me month 1 and month 2. I mean, it could have been a coincidence. It may not even have had anything to do with the soy. But if you're going to use it, that's the one thing I have to make clear. Please research it as much as you can. Ask me questions. Look up people that use soy. Do whatever you can to find out more about it, because if that's your last case scenario, then do it. But I think it boosted my ovulation, because that was the first time I had ovulated on CD14, and I was always ovulating 16 to 18. And then, of course, the next month I didn't even ovulate. So it was very disheartening to go from, oh, wow, it actually boosted me, to, oh, my God, this time, I don't know if it's irony or if it happened, I don't know if it was the soy or not. I have no idea. But to me, it was a sign of, I'm going to stop that. So I didn't use the soy again. It's still sitting over there. I see it right now, but no. So, yeah, not ovulating cycle 14 was kind of like, what? Oh, God, that hadn't happened before. In March, at the very, very end of March, the end of my cycle, I was diagnosed with PCOS and put on metformin, 500 milligrams twice a day. And it was also the last cycle that I did the ferning and checking the cervix position. It was kind of like I gave up on that type of stuff after a while. And that was also when I started the musical. We did a little night music and performed in April. So for me, April musical equaled a break. But I also in that time got results for my FSH, my LH, and my TSH blood results. They were all normal. So all those 3 were normal. That was good to know. So that would have been my first, well, April was my first full cycle on metformin here this year in '09. In May, we started trying again because the musical was over. And I wish I had a picture of this right now to show or figure out a way to do it, but I had a positive pregnancy test. It was very faint. I was worried that it was the false line, the evap line. I was really worried about that. I even sent it on my cell phone to a couple of my friends who agreed that it looked positive. I showed it to my husband, my sister, and my mom. They all thought the same thing, but after that, my temperature dropped and I got nothing but negatives. And I don't know if in my head it was positive and I just don't want to believe it because I don't want to believe it was a chemical pregnancy, or if it was an evap line and I just wanted to see a line so bad. And I know that you women that are going through this, you want to, because I'm telling you what, the first time I used the OPK in March, and it was only my third cycle trying to conceive, it was so cool to see 2 lines. Like, seriously, it was really a good thing. But that kind of freaked me out in May. And then June was my third full cycle on metformin, and I got my husband's sperm analysis results. He had a full thing. His morphology, 6%. It's still in the intermediate zone, but it's on the lower side of the intermediate zone. His white blood cell count was 1.06. It was just barely over, and he wasn't given medication. And my doctor, who I didn't like at the time, the one that diagnosed me, she wanted another SA, another sperm analysis or semen analysis, and she wasn't doing anything for me. And I almost felt like it was because I didn't have insurance. She was looking at me differently. So I decided that when we did get insurance, it would be okay, because in June, something else really great happened. My husband got hired in the hospital, and he works at a very well-known hospital now in pharmacy. So that's really cool, and we knew we'd be getting benefits soon, so I thought, that's awesome. We can totally wait and see what happens. So that happened all in June. And then, so July through November, summertime break. The whole reason we waited through November was because I was in 2 musicals. I got the lead. I had mentioned that, I think, in my first video. I got the lead, didn't have the time. If I got pregnant and had sickness, there's no way I'd have been able to do it. And I am so glad that we gave up those 5 months to do this and try. And let me have that time to myself and do what I love doing. It was amazing. So this cycle we started last minute. I've already explained that. And now you know. So to kind of sum it all up, I do suffer with a bladder illness called interstitial cystitis that worries me about pregnancy, but thousands of women have children with it. I have an absolutely wonderful husband. We started trying to conceive in January '08. We have taken a few breaks. I'm actually going to try to add it up and maybe put it on my next video and see exactly how many cycles we've tried. Tipping vaginally is the way to go. The Instead cup, I don't know what to think about that. I mean, I tried it, but it kind of worries me that, like, what if I was blocking off the good sperm? I've been told that it's probably better to basically let your man come in the cup and then insert it. It's just to put it, blunt. Baby aspirin and soy isoflavones. My doctor told me to get off the aspirin. It's not good for if you get pregnant. Like I said, what happened with the soy? Okay, the first month, the second month, and ovulatory. Not good. And I know because I temped, so I know I didn't ovulate. Was in a musical in April. Got normal test results. Gave up on a lot of stuff. And I didn't start temping again. I'm not temping anymore. None of that crap. Then we had my husband's SA results. They came back not as great as I hoped they would, but they're still better than some people's. I'm sure we'll be asked to get another one very, very soon. And then we had a break, and now we're here, and now you're caught up, and now you know everything. And the IC, the bladder thing, has really been the biggest issue for me. But thank you for listening to 20 minutes of me tell you about the last several years of my life and this journey and what all has happened.